16th, 2023. Present are members Linda Anderson, Steve Riley, Kurt Kachowski, and Kirsten Salt. Do we have anyone here that's filled out a request to speak card? No? Okay. Then with that, we will go to items for individual consideration. A, receive a report for discussion and take action on the minutes from the regular meeting held on April 18th, 2023. Any discussion?
I therefore move that we accept the minutes.
Okay, I have a second.
Second.
All right. We have a motion to approve the minutes by Kurt Kachowski and a second by Linda Anderson. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. B, receive a report, hold a discussion, and take action on the request to install a 2-foot by 4-foot die-bond sign with digital graphics in the colors of Metropolitan Lilac, Midnight Shadow, and Bask in the Glow at 511, 513 West Main.
So I think we figured out those aren't the correct ones.
I was going to say, as adjusted.
I was gonna say, that's,
They were going to be attached with 2x4s, and, yes.
Thank you. So this is for Night Furniture and Sparrows Gallery, and they have made the request to add business signage, and it is 40 foot, and the sign sections would be 4 by 8, and we have someone here to speak on that.
Thank you, Donna.
You
Hello,
need to
folks.
state your name and address for the.
Okay, my name is Michael Kloss. I'm from 312 Magnus Road in Denison. I'm the owner of MK2 Signs. The signage we are proposing here is needed this big to be able to get them some visibility to their store. That's what they were worried about, is having it big enough to get that way. The 2x4 treated that I'm going to use, the architecture of the building has a 2-brick line that goes up and juts out. So the only way to make this secure wind-wise and to make myself feel better is to run the 2x4s on the top, run it on the bottom. It brings it out to the same width as the brick. When I attach it, it'll all be nice and flat. So that's what we're trying to do. It's a very durable material. There's plenty of signs around here using that. So I think that it's kind of self-explanatory from there. Yeah, and the reason, when we were designing this, I only allowed them to go 40 inches because I have 38 inches from the top of one 2x4 to the bottom, and I don't want any extra hanging for wind load. And on the ends, I'm gonna put a little stub of 2x4s so that no wind can get behind it in any way.
Plus it keeps it below the windowsill.
Yeah.
I have no questions.
I make a motion that we approve the sign, the dimensions that they call for in the diagram. The 4x40, it is 2x4 on our.
Right, yeah, and we have to specifically
As
state.
adjusted, as
the
adjusted.
size.
Yeah, I just,
Can you state the, measurements?
4 by 40.
4x40?
I second that.
we state the whole, I make a motion that we, accept the sign 4x40.
At 511 and 513. I second that.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So we have a motion to approve by Steve Riley and second Kurt Kachowski. C,
Thank you for your time today, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So you'll need to, we'll give you the certificate of appropriateness and then you'll need to sign permit from. Yes. Thank you.
C, receive a report, hold a discussion, and take action on the request to install a building behind 231 South Austin.
So this is at Whataburger, and recently you had a case come before you, and we talked about this building, but we didn't see the pictures, and I just felt like for clarification's sake that we should bring it back. They have told me that it would be painted exactly like the Whataburger colors, and that it would be, the roof would be like the Whataburger roof, and it will be placed inside that gate, or the fence.
Would that comply with code, having that type of material?
So,
It does with the building department, however, planning and zoning setbacks, I don't know if anybody covered planning and zoning, but for building code. They talk about it in here, it says it's within the setbacks. Okay. Yeah, with building code, then it's fine.
yeah, and this is only if, it has to go through them. They said they had already gone through them, so the applicant, you can come forward, yeah, is here. You can state your name and address for the record.
Catherine Hall with K Hall Construction, 710 Amber Lane, Oak Point, Texas, 75068. I'm here as the general contractor for Whataburger. They have run out of space. We appreciate that y'all let them remodel last year because it did wonders for business. And they are completely out of space as far as holding dry goods, and that's what this is for. So the building would actually not, you would see the roof, but the roof is going to match the Whataburger with the same colors. It will be a metal roof actually with the shingled roof underneath it. And the building would be painted the same Highland Plains beige as the current building to keep the color standards. But the fence that actually, as you see in the picture, the metal fence is going to hide 90% of that building. So, and that will enable because the employees are not able to, there's no place else they can do this, and if they have it outside the fence, they can't legally go outside by Whataburger's code for safety. They cannot go outside of that fence, because there is room in the parking lot, but we wanted it to, and it did meet the setback requirements that you had. But this way, it's gonna keep everybody safe and give us what we need to do there, so. And it won't impact the drive-through lane. As you can see, the fence goes right up to the drive-through lane, so it'll keep everything intact in that one area.
And you all responded promptly and responsibly when we said, yes, please go ahead and refurbish the colors. And I'm glad that it was successful for you.
It's
This
been
doesn't-
wonderful.
This doesn't seem like it would be intrusive in any way.
I don't believe it would be. They had some little areas out there before that were dilapidated. I actually put the fence up. I took down the old materials. And with the money that they have invested this past year, it's going to be, the building's not going to get run down. They're actually doing quarterly assessments now on all exterior structures. So that way, we're not going to have the siding that tends to get a little bit faded and exactly. So they're doing quarterly assessments on all the buildings now so that we'll maintain the appearance of everything and the quality and the structure of it. So.
So you said you took down the fence?
No, the metal fence is what was installed several years, actually it's been, I think, 3 years ago. It used to have the wood fence.
Right.
So we took that out, that stays painted and everything, and then we actually replaced the fence that got knocked down, that actually surrounds the parking lot next to the houses.
Okay.
So I'm actually the contractor that did that. So
Yeah, I think
I'm
she said
pretty
she took down
familiar.
the old fence. This is the new fence, and it's still up.
Right.
And that's the fence that will actually hide the little building. The only difference on that building is the door is actually gonna be on the end, not on in the middle, too.
So that's a prototype.
Mm-hmm.
You got a picture of.
Yes,
What size is the building?
8 by 16.
I have no questions. If there's no other questions, then I make a motion to approve the installation of a building within the fenced area behind the restaurant at 231 South Austin.
Second,
We have a motion to approve by Kurt Kachowski and second by Linda Anderson. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
D, receive a report on discussion and take action on the request to install silver vinyl letters with the company logo on a window and a 48-inch by 96-inch black aluminum panel with vinyl logo on the front of the building at 310 West Main.
So So we have a new business there, and they would like to add vinyl signage and a sign panel, and they are here to describe it for you. Do you have the picture of the other sign? That one, yeah. So anyway, there's parts to it, and I'll let them come up. You can state your name.
Hello, Jesse Sims, 310 West Main, Denison, Texas. As you can see here, we're 2 doors down. I moved my office here recently. I've had multiple businesses downtown since 2010. And we're just looking so we're a real estate development firm. So as being a firm who's promoting the growth in Denison, as some of y'all probably know, we have pictures and things up where people can see some of our developments and stop by. However, we do want to display our brand along with that, which is what we're proposing here. The signage size is the same size that the Hanging T currently had up previously, and we're placing it in the exact same place and attaching it in the same way, as well as the vinyl lettering is very similar to what they previously had. Matter of fact, the owner of Hanging T came and designed and took pictures of this for us. So we're trying to stay consistent with what you've had in the past. I believe we meet all the color requirements per the historic color codes, and we're just looking to get the visibility out there. So here for any questions, if you have any, for myself.
Thank you for being well prepared.
Well, you're welcome. It's good to have a good team. And my attorney and sister, Ashley Sims, was going to come present on my behalf, but since I was here, I figured I would walk over. She got all of it. She got. Trust me, you would. No, she got both. I just got half of it. So, no, but happy to answer any questions. And as you can see, it's pretty cut and dry. What we're looking to do, just looking to have some visibility for our brand and let everybody know who we are and what we're doing to be a part of Denison. So.
And sometimes we have issues about the signage, in fact, being too big.
Sure.
And so it's nice to be respectful about what has already been approved and acceptable.
Absolutely.
So thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. So yeah, I think it'll add to the building and just let everybody know that. And I don't know if you've been by there. I mean, we have it well decorated in there, and I know retail's big downtown, but you know, we've developed 400 plus residential lots the last 4 years myself in this town. And I was born and raised here, and I take pride in the fact that I get to be a part of seeing Denison go where we're headed. So we're glad to be downtown again, and once again, just would like to have that visibility while we're here. Any questions for me?
Welcome you on the street and wish you huge success.
Thank you, Linda. Yeah, I appreciate that. You're a good neighbor, and we feed the birds for them while we're gone too. So. And Melanie's one of my good friends, and I was hoping she'd be here because then I'd be a shoo-in, but I'm just kidding. No.
Accuse yourself.
Oh, well, I'll stop here, Steve. I'm going to go sit down if y'all don't have any questions for me. Right. Well, I'm used to having to deal with council, and if you don't act this way with council, you don't always get what you want. I'm just kidding. Everyone's great. Any questions for me? Everybody good?
No, I don't have any questions.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll second it.
We have a motion by Steve Rowland, a second by Kirk Kachasky. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Donna. Have a good day.
You too.
So we want to staff updates.
This is doing crazy things, yeah. So we had 212 West Main, and she's got pictures of it here on the display. Phillips Insurance is updating their signage, and it was all vinyl. And so I went ahead and proved it in office, and I just wanted to give y'all that update. As well as City Hall in the back parking lot. the railing around the parking lot and up the back steps was painted the same color, and so I gave them in office permission to do that.
That was probably the day after we met last time. A month ago.
No, this signage looks good.
Yeah. And then Madison, are you able to pull up that other document? Of course, you've probably got it right ready, but we went over the last time we met, the historic preservation ordinance. This time, just got this last week, haven't done anything with it. We will talk about the design guidelines, which in my opinion is much more hands-on with you guys, and you will care much more about that because it gives you your guidance. And I feel like I scanned through it. I feel like it much more directly states actions that are okay and not. So you can see the additions. She made we had our consultant, Rosin Preservation, do these, and the additions are like in red, and you can see that it just makes it more plain. She did I can't think what the word is, but you can see where they added paragraphs, and a lot of it is just cleaning it up and restating it. If you go on down to 3, where I think is the biggest, yeah. So general design guidelines, and there are some words like historic, traditional, that historic stated it better. So you can scan on down a little bit. It defined maintenance, keep going, you're fine. And additions, how to handle those. Right there is where I wanted. Infill is specifically stated. We did not have anything on infill before. So it mentions in 3.051 is new construction should defer to the surrounding context. I think we've got that. You can scan on down just a tiny bit to maybe the next. Okay. And then 2, the materials should complement the design and materials of the historic district. And then on 3, well, there was something else that mentioned the setback. And so it does not recommend a setback. It recommends that it comes up to the 0 lot line, which is in alignment with other buildings.
So that's above 3052.
Okay. And so that's just some things that I saw some, differences in what we had done. But it'll be nice to have this guidance so we have clear choices to make. It changes non-conforming to non-contributing and conforming to contributing, and defines that a little bit better. And in my opinion, even though it's non-contributing, we still hold them to the same standards. So what I would like for you to do is to read through this and take some time. Give me any thoughts on it, but questions also.
Are you going to send it?
Yes, I will send it right after the meeting to you. And I don't really know how long that to anticipate that might take you, or how even changes.
Will the formatting be so that we can insert changes?
That's what I wasn't sure of.
Do you want us
Okay,
to
I'll
put
just-
insert or do it as comments on the side?
I think comments.
Okay, we can do that.
Yeah,
We can do
because
that.
I don't want to lose sight of,
But, we'll just do
Yeah.
comments.
yeah.
As long
And
as you allow editing.
Pardon?
As long as you allow editing on what you send out to us.
It'll be this same format, which she did. Just please don't accept
just don't block
anything. Yeah. Please don't accept anything, meaning like all this red, except, because then we
Then go
can't,
black.
yeah. So just
leave
make
it
comments.
red.
Yeah.
Don't hit the accept all.
Yeah, yeah. And I didn't, when I was reading over it, I had a couple of typos. I think it maybe said strife and it should have been strive, something like that. And then it said no contributing and it was supposed to be non-contributing. So that's the only ones I even noticed. But yeah, please share your thoughts and ask any questions. So you might have a separate, notepad that as you're going through it, that you come up with new questions. Two things that she didn't put in there, and she was asking me for guidance, and I was like, I don't know. But it was the pools or spools, as it may be. How do we want to treat those? And I don't know, as long as it's complementary to the landscape. And I think some other departments had set back, like it's got to be 10 foot from the building or something like that.
We still left that in a sort of nebulous state.
Yes.
And very much one spool specific. It didn't really determine any sort of guidelines.
Yeah.
And if you remember, other than the code issues and construction issues, it was deemed that if it couldn't be seen, then we didn't have any parvenu over it. But it is something that needs to be known about.
Yeah, yeah. So if, you've got thoughts on that, you can share them with me. And another thing was let's see, we already went over infill.
Mm-hmm.
There was something else like that.
Solar panels.
It's in here. So on energy efficiency, I believe, or energy saving, I believe it's efficiency. It's in here. And then as I read through it, there wasn't very much information on it, and I thought I would have expected more. There was more below it in another section. And so, and roofs, it states, it doesn't give a lot of guidance other than it kind of must be within the feel of the building and not mess things up. So it's got some additional wording on roofs. And I think you'll be very pleased with the detail on it. I was, but if you feel it's lacking and you want more, please, this is our time to get there. And we don't want to be doing it again. It's easier to do it all with one, so let's make sure it's like we want it. And so I've also got the historic preservation ordinance, which I'm waiting on some more information. I haven't touched that since we've last spoke. I haven't touched it since our big meeting. So I've got to come back and get that in the shape we want it. And I wanted to present this at one time to council. And so,
These two documents.
yes. And
This represents a lot of work.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
yeah.
Well done. Thanks, staff. Well done.
I believe that it's getting us closer to
Well,
you
it's
having
much
clear
more-
cut.
It's much better organized, it's much more cogent.
Well, you'll notice in there, it says this was taken from the historic preservation ordinance. So there were a couple of things that we talked about that we felt better in the design guidelines than in the ordinance. So,
It's way tighter.
yeah. So just give me your thoughts on it, and then we'll have another meeting of the players that met before. And of course, we'll make sure you can come.
Ideally, what sort of time window would you like
I
to
would
place us?
really like, let's see, today's the middle of the month, and so we would like to have it on the June, like, it's,
So about a month from now.
she can help us with the date that we're looking for.
While she's looking that up, the other players within the
The-
staff,
Yes,
so the
and,
P and Z and compliance, have
Right.
taken a look at it
right. I've not sent it to them.
yet.
I really feel like right. I really feel like the ordinance part is more what they will be interested in, and you will be most interested in this. I may be wrong, but
And
Yeah.
the downtown, Denison downtown folks will probably be interested in this too. I suspect I'm gonna see this again in the next meeting.
right.
The next meeting is Monday, June the 5th.
Okay. So when would
That's
we?
pretty quick.
We have 2 meetings in June, correct? Okay, so this would have to be on the agenda this Friday, so we probably won't make that. So let's look at the mid-June meeting to try to get it on there. That means we've got a lot of work to do before then. First, you have to give me your comments
So we'd
and.
like to have it by the end of the week.
That would be good if y'all could. I know it's a lot of reading, but that would be good.
It's only 36 pages, only 12,761 words.
Thanks for sharing.
Well. Okay, I'll send it
Yes.
at 11:59 on Friday night.
We will endeavor to have it to you by the end of the week.
That would be great. And that way you'll have first dibs on any edits to it. And I will defer to you guys, but we'll skip the rest of the changes at this time if you're good with just reading it for yourself. I just wanted to give you a feel for it and some of the things that have been done. And I would like to have a recommendation from you as a group to council, just the formality, but if you're good with it, I would like to have that maybe at our next meeting we could, yeah.
And obviously Donna referenced the number of times that we formally dealt with the document and that it's not foreign to us and the process has been collaborative.
Yeah,
So it's basically a perfect sell.
yeah. I feel like it'll be good. Do you have any other questions? Okay, that's all I've got.
Thank you.
I guess just a statement, don't forget to vote for the runoff election.
Yes.
One at-large spot.
Meeting adjourned. Do I have a motion?
So moved.